Hey, turns out Nigerian scammers allegedly hit Washington State Unemployment Office for a bag of over $100 million.
No way.
This is by Ann Brown. More than $100 million has disappeared from the Washington State Unemployment Office, and officials there are blaming Nigerian scammers. I got to tell you, man, we should go visit Nigeria for a while just to talk to some of their scammers because they seem to know what the F they're doing. Why Nigeria? Why is that where they call? Anyway, the head of the state's Employment Security Department said imposters have used stolen information from tens of thousands of people to fraudulently receive hundreds of millions of dollars in unemployment benefits. Well, that would be more than 100. They said just 100. Oh, no, it says more than 100. Okay. The U.S. Secret Service, part of the Department of Homeland Security, says some of the scammers are tied to an organized group, the Nigerian Scattered Canary Criminal Gang. That's a pretty funny name. The Nigerian Scattered Canary Criminal Gang. Isn't that something? I went to the Ethiopian organized Blue Jay gang. That's a little different than the Nigerian Scattered Canary Gang. Hey, the scam group emerged about a decade ago and tends to target government services, including unemployment fraud, Social Security fraud, disaster relief fraud, and student aid fraud, according to Armin L. Nigerian, CMO and Chief Identity Officer of email security company Agari. Hey, here's a news report about it. This is from KIRO Channel 7. Let's listen to it.
Victims have filed police reports about fraud in King County. KIRO 7's Allison Grandi shows you the letters they're receiving and what is being done to identify imposters.
Victims don't know they've been targeted until they get a letter in the mail. It's a sinking feeling. I got one too.
I was a victim of employment security fraud.
Lynette got a letter from the Employment Security Department about benefits she never asked for.
There's a little bit of fear because somebody has your personal information.
They even set up a green dot debit card in her name. She got it in the mail on Friday.
My first reaction is I'm in accounting and banking and been in management, so my first reaction is I'm really careful. How in the heck did that happen?
The letter mentions the Self-Employment Assistance Program and suggests she can become an entrepreneur. Thankfully, she isn't out of work. It's part of the imposter fraud hitting unemployment systems from Washington to Massachusetts to Florida. The Secret Service is investigating a multi-million-dollar fraud scheme led by an organization with ties to Nigeria, targeting the unemployment security system. The scammers are hitting at the same time states are rushing unemployment benefits during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Don't panic. This is not a good letter to get. It's an awful feeling. And if you're one of those people who actually is trying to get benefits, this is even worse.
Patrick Hines chairs the Economic Crimes Unit at the King County Prosecuting Attorney's Office. He says victims must act quickly and report the fraud to their employer, the Employment Security Department, online, then to police and the Federal Trade Commission. The scammers work fast. I got this letter in the mail on Thursday. Someone had applied for unemployment with my information. I reported it over the weekend, and still today, I got this bank card in my mailbox with my name on it. I canceled it too. Hines says don't access funds on unexpected cards that come your way.
You are already the victim of an identity theft at that point. The worst thing you can do is make it worse by taking advantage of what you were sent.
Many of the fraud letters have claim dates from back in March, but I just got this letter last week. The Employment Security Department says that's because the CARES Act allowed people to file retroactive claims. So it's new fraud with old dates. Allison Grandi, KIRO 7 News.
Wow. That is, well, there you go. That's how, wow. Of course those scammers are on it. There's trillions of dollars floating around. They're going to go get some of it. Here's a little bit more. This recent scam letters have claims that were open in March, but that letter, that's it. That's what you're just talking about. Advice from the King County Prosecuting Attorney's Office. Step 1, contact your employer. Step 2, contact ESD. Step 3A, file a police report. Step 3B, report the matter to the FTC. And step 4, follow up with the 3 major credit bureaus. All right, sounds like a nightmare. Sounds like a goddamn nightmare. This happened to my father, by the way, too.
Well, remember, I was just looking this up right now. Remember that Equifax was hacked? Equifax.
I remember this.
So they were hacked.
Yes.
So the system that carries all of your information
was
hacked.
Right. Right. So they can protect. By the way, why do credit agencies are such bullshit? Why did they get there doesn't seem to be enough. It's just like Wikipedia. They get to do whatever they want. And then you don't get to do anything. It seems very unfair. And by the way, so they have they have credit reporting agencies for banks and stuff. They're called rating agencies. And so how did all the banks crash if all their debt and stuff was rated AAA? Because the rating agencies were corrupt. So the banks get to corrupt their credit bureaus, but our credit bureaus get to be nefarious against us, and we don't get any recourse. Anyway, I won't. That's what I'm saying.
And by the way, the Equifax hacker fiasco was preventable.
I'm sure it was.
You mean the failings on part of the corporation, Equifax?
Goddamn, let alone Equifax. Fucking Wells Fargo was opening up fraudulent accounts in their own customers' names on the regular.
Oh, and they're still in business.
And they're still in business. No problem. That didn't have to go to Nigeria. Hey, this is the part where I tell you where our live shows are, but there aren't any. And then I would tell you to go join our premium, but nobody has a fucking job. So why don't you just enjoy the video?